What's going on, Cats fans? It's Ben Reeve here from The Hoop Show. It is Tuesday the 28th of March, and it's a midweek update. So there's a few things happening in Catland this week. The biggest one that is worrying me the most is Jeremy Cameron. A couple of things. One, we're still waiting for the baby. I'm not sure what's happening when the baby is coming, but we haven't heard any updates yet. Maybe it's come and they just haven't announced it, and that's their right, fair enough. But also the rib injury issue that Jezza sustained on the weekend. So I'm a bit concerned that he might not be playing. At the moment, the word is that he's in doubt. Now, doubt probably to me means he's not playing, and Jezza may make a miraculous recovery. It's only round 3. Do we want to risk it? Don't know. How effective is he going to be if he's in a lot of pain? Is he going to restrict his movement? Is he, just going to be running around doing nothing? The thing that concerns me about this injury, normally it wouldn't. If Hawkins was flying, it'd be great. But looks like Hawkins. Well, I think we wanted to rest Hawkins. Well, that was some of the thinking that at least the fan community on Twitter was talking a lot about. Can we rest the guy? Don't think that's going to happen if Jez is not playing. Possibly Shannon Neal comes in. I think we want to see a bit of Shannon Neal this year, don't we? He does look like he's a very promising player, and I'd love to get 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 games out of him if we can. I thought he'd probably only play if there was injuries to some of our main key tools up forward, but he might be called upon a little bit sooner than normal. So I'm a bit worried about that. I keep checking, refreshing the news feeds. When's the baby coming? Is the baby going to come anytime now? But maybe it's more the injury that's going to keep him out. It is a flight to the Gold Coast. We did touch on this on our Sunday show that maybe getting in the aeroplane is not the best idea when you're carrying an injury, and maybe we'll leave him home. But what does that mean to a Geelong lineup with only, I don't know, like Hawkins doesn't play, Cameron doesn't play. You got a young guy in Shannon Neal who comes in and is supposed to do everything. Do you throw blitz Savs up forward? Sorry, Sav, we know you've done really well down back and you're finding your feet there, but we need you to play up forward today. There's no Jack Henry to do that swingman role. We keep moving pieces around and shuffling things to try and plug holes, but it's a worry. Look, Gold Coast still haven't won a game, and that encourages me a little bit. It's on their home deck, not that it's not a fortress or anything like that, but I'm nervous. I don't want to go 0-3. I think a lot of us are probably sitting back after the 0-2 thinking, okay, 0-2, whatever. We'll win the next couple, no dramas. Maybe even the next 3, easy done. What if it doesn't happen, though? What if we go 0-3? Oh, no. I think then things will start getting messy in Cat's Twitter world. I think that'll be the case. Some other news. Daisy Pearce, not welcome in the opposition change rooms. I think probably the headlines there are a little bit misleading, maybe. She is not. It's not because of her gender, as far as I can understand it. It is because she's a coach at the Catters. So I don't think you really want opposition coaches wandering around in opposition rooms. So if that's the Geelong and someone from another club wants to come and have a bit of a chat with us, sorry Tom Lonergan, you're with Carlton now. You're not welcome in the club rooms. Come to the club any other time, but yeah, when we're having little meetings and you're watching players limping around and so forth, we don't want you there at that point in time. So I totally get it. I think that's totally fair. I don't think Daisy's threw her arms up in the air or anything like that. I think it's just the media trying to make a big deal about it. She's a name. What are you going to do? VFL, I think, as I mentioned before, Shannon Neal could be a possibility to come in. I'd love to see Jai Clark come in at some stage. The boys had a win on the weekend, which was really nice. Shannon Neal, Jai Clark, who was out? Ted Close, he kicked 3 goals in the VFL, so he's one to keep an eye on as well. Lots of good Falcons boys. We want to see as many of them as we can. Now, I've noticed, and maybe other people have noticed this as well, Big Baby Guthrie, Zach Guthrie, whatever name you've got him. He's got a few nicknames now. He's like Apollo Creed in Rocky 4. He's got every nickname under the sun now. I'm still going with Big Baby Guthrie, and that'll always be, even when he's close to retirement at 34, he'll still be Big Baby Guthrie to me. He's a media darling these days. You can't. Every time he sees a camera, he runs 50 metres to put his face in front of it these days. He's all over the shop. He's in the post siren in the rooms. Got the camera on him. He's doing the stuff during the midweek. You couldn't see him before. Well, I think he might have had a go late last year, but before that, you'd never see him on camera. But he's everywhere now. Good on him. A bit of confidence in the young lads. I like to see it. Keep it up, big baby. Keep doing all that sort of work. What else have I got? Now, let's talk about some other clubs. Some of the shit clubs. Let's just call them shit clubs. All right. Sorry if you're watching from one of these about to be named clubs. Essendon, North Melbourne and St Kilda. You shit clubs. You're doing better than us at the moment. You're 2-0. I want to ask the viewers, and maybe let me know in the comments, which one of those three teams, Essendon, North Melbourne and St Kilda, are the real deal? Are any of them the real deal? Are any of them actually going to continue on and make it 3-0? Are they going to continue on and make finals? Are they kidding themselves? Who knows? I think maybe... Well, I'm still sticking with Essendon because I have to, because I put myself out there and said Essendon would be there at the business end. I think the other one's probably St Kilda that might surprise a few people, maybe. I still don't have any confidence in North. I think they've only had a couple of close wins, so they could have gone the other way. They'd be 0-2. The other three teams, the good teams, rather than the shit teams, are Geelong, Fremantle and the Bulldogs. We're all 0-2. I think it's fair to say Geelong's probably going to make a bit of a run soon. If not this week, then after that, I think we'll be there. How high we finish in the top 8, that's up in the air still. Are the Doggies done? I mean, I know they started 0-2 last year as well. What about Freo though? Can we write Freo off yet? Are we writing any of these teams off yet? We're not writing Geelong off because this is a Geelong channel and we stick with the Cats thick and thin. But are we going to write Freo off? Are we going to write the Bulldogs off yet? Is anyone brave enough to do that? Let me know in the comments if you can. An interesting stat, though, only 8% of teams that start 0-2 make the finals. That's since 2010, so 8% of... That's not looking good. I think we'll be one of those 8%, but will those other two, Freo or Bulldogs, make it as well? It could be one of those years where a lot of good teams start crap and then a lot of crap teams start good, so... We'll see. Will Ashcroft, I did call him Marcus Ashcroft on the Sunday night show. Will Ashcroft won the Rising Star Award. Good for him. If you haven't already caught up with the Sunday night show, make sure you check it out. There's the thumbnail link there or image there. I'll leave the link in the show notes as well. We've had a good take up of viewers on that show this week. It's a bit of fun. We had Rach Danderfield come on the show this week with Paul. The video itself's a little bit laggy, so apologies for that. But the audio is fine. So if you just want to listen to the audio version of that, that's great. We know what the issue was and we'll fix it up for the next time around. But I think we've got Anna Pavlou coming back on this Sunday night, straight after the Gold Coast game. So we'll have that video up nice and early on Sunday evening to everyone to digest the victory, which we're predicting will be, I hope. So Will Ashcroft won the Rising Star. Look, he's probably going to be up there, I think, with Harry Sheasel at the end. I don't know. There's been a few other good players going around early in this year. Mateus Philippou's another one. He'll probably win one soon. A Rising Star nod. It sounds to me at this very early stages it'll be between Will Ashcroft and Harry Sheasel at the end of the year for the Rising Star Award. Could be North Melbourne taking out all the honours the way it's going so far. Now, with the Geelong game, and I'll do a bit of a review video separate to this one, but just news coming out last night or this morning around Charlie Ballard, one of their defenders, being suspended for a week. So if Jeremy Cameron does go out or Hawkins gets rested, then that does help us a little bit. It at least evens things out somewhat anyway. So he's not a bad defender for them, one of their better players. Anyway, so that's just a quick update on the week. Again, still refreshing what's happening with the baby. Is Jezza going to play? At least it's Sunday, so it's quite a while. Maybe they're just not playing him just yet because let's see how these ribs settle down after a few days. We'll get him back when we need to later in the year. I don't know. What do you think? I'm really interested in hearing people's comments on some of these topics that we've discussed today. Let me know in the chat. And hopefully... Oh, the other thing I have to say, and I didn't mention before, the Osca Riccardi video dropped, the interview with Osca Riccardi that Paul did way back, I think before the season even started, not long after he got drafted to the club. He was very fresh. That video is now available on YouTube as well, so make sure you check that one out. It's a great video, actually. It's a really good insight into how some of these young guys go through those first few days, introduction to the club. So that's a really great video. I can't recommend that highly enough. And I want to thank Oscar. If you are watching, thanks for coming on the show, Oscar. We really appreciate you giving up your time for that. For a small channel, which we are, we're hoping to get a little bit bigger, but a couple of these AFL players and AFLW players coming on the show as well. We've actually got Brooke Plummer coming on the show. Brooke's one of our young AFLW players. We interviewed her a while back too, so she'll be that episode will drop next Tuesday. So every Tuesday morning around about 6 a.m. or something like that, those episodes drop. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching again. I've been me, you've been you. This has been The Hoop Show, and as we always say, go Cats.